trouble in the Guyana.
Press.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of His Excellency President Muhammad Irfan Ali, it's a blessing to welcome you all this afternoon to State House. How do you feel, everyone? Good? But His Excellency extended a special invitation to some very special people, and amongst them, very, very special children. And this afternoon, you will be able to hear about some of the things that we're doing for all of the special needs of children and adults as the government of Guyana. So before I get into some of what we're doing, let's give His Excellency a huge round of applause for the invitation today. As you know, he had extended this invitation 2 years ago, and then when we came here, a very important announcement was made where persons who are living with disabilities got the opportunity to register once for the permanent disability benefit, and that will take them all the way until they become a pensioner. That was a significant step because before there were many applications people had to make, and it was a very, very difficult thing. And right after that, there was an increase in the permanent disability benefit. But there's so much more that we're doing as the government of Guyana, focusing on children, on people living with disabilities, and a huge program that has literally transformed the quality of life of persons living with disabilities is our Assistive and Support AIDS program, where with a simple request, anyone who has a disability can access a wheelchair, a walker, a white cane, and also a cane, a hearing aid, and even a prosthesis. That's significant because before that, it was very, very difficult to get these things. And we started to also make sure that when we got these things, a lot of them were child-sized, because I understand how important it is to you as caregivers to ensure that your children have these assistive aids. But the government continues to do more, and a lot of the parents, when they came the last time, spoke about education and wanting to have special classes to keep children occupied, engaged, and stimulated so that they can have more days at school. And shortly after that, the sod was turned for a special school that will be opened in Region 3. And that will be something that will alleviate some of the concerns of parents in Region 3. In addition to that, the Learning Lab was opened by Government of Guyana. This is now 2 years old, and every year we have been training persons in various disciplines, from garment construction, social media marketing, and so much more at no cost to them, because we want to ensure that everyone living with a disability understands how inclusive our governmental policies are, ensuring there's access, inclusivity, and in addition to just training at the Learning Lab, we also do these trainings in all of the regions. In fact, this year, we've trained over 400 persons living with disabilities in regions, including the hinterland regions. And I was really, really filled with joy to see the quality of work that they produced when they did the garment construction training. Also, it doesn't stop there. The government of Guyana, through His Excellency, the President, started a revolving fund for people who live with disabilities. So if they wanted to open their business after training with us, getting business literacy training, they can access funding. And the best thing, it's interest-free. And quite a number of persons, over 100 persons, right in the first year, turned to this initiative to start their entrepreneurship ventures. And we continue to expand what we are doing, focusing on education, technical vocational training, ensuring persons living with disabilities have the best quality of life, And I remember when His Excellency announced the grant 2 years ago, for the first time we were able to develop a register of children living with disabilities, giving us the opportunity to refer those children for health care and for all the different types of care that they require. But we also know that caregivers need our support. Caregivers need help. And so through the WIN program, we started the child care training, but we added 2 levels. 1, we focus on special needs education, and 2, early childhood development education. So across the country, when we open our day-night care early childhood centers, 2 owned by the state, and more owned by persons, everyone who opens these centers will be trained on how to care for children so that you as caregivers, when you need a little break, a little time for yourself, you can safely leave your children at these centers knowing that they're well cared for. And so as we continue to expand what we do, as we continue to focus on persons living with disability, I believe that you understand the seriousness with which we look at the needs of persons living with disability. And we will not only look at what I told you. His Excellency also gave a commitment on transportation. And buses were bought to help with transportation to school for children living with disabilities. This has already been done. So the point is, we have been as a government caring and committing and honoring these commitments to people across the length and breadth of Guyana. For the first time, a person who is living with disability and has to access the permanent disability benefit can apply fully online. They don't need to go anywhere outside of their house and apply. Just an online process. And also, we have a shut-in registry where once you register for the delivery of payments of any of the benefits, we come to your home and we give those benefits as well. So more and more, we're looking at a lot of things, including access to buildings. This was a concern that was raised. How can we have more access built into buildings? And every new building done by government has access to make wheelchair access very easy to persons living with disability, as well as the existing building, adding those access points and ramps. But I know you're probably very, very anxiously awaiting His Excellency and what he has to tell you. And I want to say, finally, a program that's very, very close to my own heart, Wish Upon a Star, was launched in 2020. And every year, hundreds of children across the country will write into the ministry, and once they're a special need child, we make those wishes come true. And this year, it's no different. We continue with Wish Upon a Star. But it's not going to end there, and we continue to work with you, support you, and be on a journey, as you have been on a journey, caring, giving love to these very special children. I know that what makes our children the happiest is when they're surrounded by love, when they're surrounded by blessings, and when they know that they are cared for, they're encouraged. And I have always been happy to meet with some of my friends in this audience. There you go. She comes to me and she said, I've been looking for you everywhere and I found you. So once our children know that we love them and we care for them, which we do, they will continue to reach for the sky. And nothing is out of their limits, nothing impossible, and we're here to make those dreams a possibility. But without further ado, I ask His Excellency to take the microphone and speak with you. Give him a resounding round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, Bindi. But first of all, let me thank Bindi and the staff from the ministry for the extraordinary work that they have been doing in working with the communities, working with organizations, and supporting not only the children, but all those who are living with various forms of disability. You're an integral part of our society, you're part of the collective whole, and we'll continue to do everything to ensure that your life continues to be good and that you continue to also benefit from the development of our country. I want to say that the Ministry of Human Services has been doing an extraordinary job at reaching out. We started off in 2020 by not having a complete register of persons living with disability. And we wanted that register so that we can structure our support in a more meaningful way. And we have been able not only to have almost 6,000 children on that register, but on a national register of persons living with different forms of disability. We have close to 26,000 persons on that register, covering every single region of the country. We have been able, as the minister said, also to give that permanent monthly allowance with one application. So with one application, we have been able to give that allowance. And I've received so many letters of how impactful that is. And of course, as the years go by, as we become more prosperous as a nation, that incentive will also grow. We have also been able to support the application by organizations and community for duty-free concessions for specialized vehicle that is needed to support families and persons living with disability. We made a commitment that in every single region, we're going to at least put one vehicle, one bus, to support persons living with disability. How many do we have now? We have 7 of those buses already purchased and in different regions. And we committed that in every region we'll do so, and in some cases where additional buses are required, we'll support those additional buses. And hopefully, by the end of January, we will have an additional 6 or 7 more buses bought so that they can support your organizations and persons living with disability, especially for children. So before end of January next year, we will have that completed. So I want you to know that it's not only during this festive period, but our work with those living with disability, our brothers and sisters, is continuous every single day of the year. The minister spoke to you about schools that we are building to support education. But there's a very big initiative that we're going to launch in January. Well, not launch, we're going to open the school. That is the Guyana Digital School. The Guyana Digital School will be one that will be available for all of CARICOM. But within that Guyana Digital School, there'll be a platform to address special needs, so that parents can register their children at home, and they will have a platform through which special needs education will be addressed, so that they're in a continuous learning environment, so that it can be a family affair, so that families and parents can be connected with this also. So I want you to know that these are all initiatives that we're supporting, additional initiative to make it easier, so that days when you can't get transportation, you can continue the learning process at home. That is what we want. That is the support we want to give. Outside of that, I'm very pleased today to tell you that to continue the investment and to support your lives, and with the register we have now, that we are going to release this month a further $875 million. Approximately $875 million directly to each of the persons on the register, each of the almost 26,000 persons on the register. What that means is that outside of the $100,000 grant that every person above 80 years is getting in the population, each person on the register that is close to 26,000 persons will get a grant of $35,000 additionally from the state. So, as I said, the prosperity that we are building, the country that we are building, is to address these needs. The Minister of Human Services and the First Lady Office also is doing a lot of work supporting initiative, but the Minister will launch in the coming weeks, definitely before the end of the year, another series of our consultation to see what are the priorities now. What are the new priorities with all these investment that we're giving? So we can see how we can further support your priorities, because she has been working around the clock. Bindi has been working around the clock for all of the different segments of our population, but she pays a specific interest on the segment of the population living with different forms of disability. As I said to you, we have the spectacles voucher, and we want you to make use of it. All those persons on the register, if you want a spectacles, just get in contact with the ministry. Send an email, send something, send a message so that we can get that to you. Dental services, all of these things we want to make more accessible and easier for you. Make the service more personalized for you so that we can be better and we can, in a better, more efficient way, deliver these services. So today, I am pleased that we've been able to add a further more than approximately $875 million to support your lives. That is a grant of $35,000 additionally to every person on the register. And know that in us, you have a government that cares and a government that will continue to engage you on making life easier and much more prosperous for all of you. I wish you the best. God bless you, and know that you have all our love, and we will continue to be there in support of you. Thank you very much. Okay, and we have our young sweetheart here who will say a poem. Okay?
Success is not straight. There is a curve called failure, a loop called confusion, speed bumps called friends, red light called enemies, caution light called families. You will have flats called jobs, but if you have a determination, a spirit called determination, you will make it a place called success.
Your Excellency, Dr. Fanani, Honorable Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vijay Prasad, special invitees, children, parents of children with disabilities. It's indeed an honor to be standing on the stage with two persons that really represent the interests of persons with disabilities. I was sitting there and I was thinking, you know what? I need to complete a checklist of what was achieved and send it to the President and copy Minister. Because prior to the 2020 elections, we sent a disability manifesto to all political parties. And the PPP government, well at that time it was the PPP party, incorporated that into their manifesto. We met with His Excellency and all the ministers on assuming office, and they reaffirmed their commitment to persons with disabilities. We asked for more special education needs schools, we got them. We asked for an associate degree in special education needs, it's now at CPC since 2022. There are more opportunities for persons with disabilities to go to tertiary institutions through Gold or University of Guyana. Even at the Seraponic College of Education, it's much, much easier with virtual learning. In the area of human services, public assistance, it's now universal. Prior to 2022, June 2nd, and I don't remember the date, but His Excellency announced that everyone with a disability below 65 will get public assistance. That was transformative for many, many people with disabilities who had waited years for a public assistance. Training opportunities, again, transformative, because now, if somebody invites us to a workshop to send 5 persons with disabilities, I have to look far and wide to get those persons during the week, during the day, because they're all occupied at work or in school. That's success. That's achievement. I keep telling persons with disabilities, the only way that you would not transform your life is if you don't want to. Yes, we understand there are people who are severely disabled and things will be difficult for them. But once you have the ability and you're capable, there are opportunities, a plethora of opportunities now. And only if you're lazy as someone with a disability, you will not access them. We are seeing people with disabilities being treated as equals by this government, and I know we'll continue to be on that trajectory. Yes, we have a far way to go when it comes to access to information and access to the built infrastructure, but I know with us putting up a lot of new structures that all are being built with access in mind. So once again, I thank His Excellency for spearheading disability. It's probably the only president in the Caribbean, or only head of state, that mentions disability so often in whenever he presents on development or even an initiative. Disability is always mentioned at some point in time. Minister Bindi, we have a direct connect to her, and she always addresses our problem whenever they arise. So these are the people we want to lead, and these are the people that have been transforming disability, and anyone will tell you within the community, over the past few years, lives have changed. People with disabilities can now see the light at the end of the tunnel. So Your Excellency, thank you very much to you and the government for efforts.
Thank you, Danny. But I want to also say that there is another initiative that Dogo said that we are launching. The Minister of Agriculture is not here, but we are right now building the first innovative farm that will be operated fully by persons living with disability here in Guyana. And climate smart agriculture is also a big part of what we'll be doing. And that farm will be incorporated into our supermarkets so that there will be a special section selling produce that will come from that farm, because you will be buying with a social conscience. And that is an important part of what we're doing. Ganesh also raised with me, I think you have 5 organizations on the register, about 5 organizations on the register, whether they can have a vehicle, a specialized vehicle to help them. And I want to tell Ganesh that that too is part of the plan, and that will be delivered to the 5 organizations, including yours, so that you will have a vehicle to assist you in whatever you do. So as I said, we are here for you, we are with you, we are by you, and I want to thank all, very importantly, all the parents. I can't thank you guys enough. The parents, the teachers, and those in society who are supporting our brothers and sisters who are living with different forms of disability. You guys are real angels on earth. You guys, there are no words that I can express to thank you on behalf of these kids and these families and these persons. You're extraordinary souls, and your reward, I'm sure you know, your reward is never here on earth. There is no reward on earth that will be able to compensate you for what you guys are doing. But in my system of belief, and in my belief, your reward is going to be reaped in such heavy abundance and in a much greater place, and you will rejoice with that reward. Continue to do what you do. Know that we love you and respect you for what you do, and we will continue to be by your side. God bless all of you. Thank you very much.
What the front?
Hmm? Yeah, yeah. Good. She does. Come on.
One more over here. Go. Just like to hold your hand.
I'll finish the side first.
Yeah. No, he coming with the sisters. Yes, he coming with Yeah. You say what Go ahead.
She had it.
Oh, really?
Thank you, sir. Ready? you don't even know how real video woman. I don't know where where is it? I don't know either. Oh, you could have it. No flow. Come, switch. Switch on. That's what I'm bringing up.